Hey guys, it's Pants here. Today we're going to look at the myth of Doom. Before we get started, I want to say this video is structured according to the hero's journey. This is a theory of Joseph Campbell's. He studied thousands of mythological stories and discovered what he thought was a hidden structure behind every successful myth. Nowadays, the writers of blockbuster movies and pulp fiction novels follow this formula, and Doom's no different. Let's start with the ordinary world. Successful myths begin with the ordinary world. This is meant for a comparison with the special world the hero will soon enter. The ordinary world for the Doomslayer here is one of unconsciousness. Having previously lost a battle against demons in hell, the Doomslayer has been entombed in a sarcophagus and only just resurrected by Samuel Hayden. However, in the few opening seconds of the adventure, the Doomslayer displays heroic strength and brutality, as well as his hostility towards demons. The call to adventure is what kicks off the hero's journey. This call to adventure is typically a messenger or message. It can come as a letter, a telegram, a text, a phone call, or it can come as a vision, a voice, or a dream. The Doomslayer receives a call to adventure from Samuel Hayden, indicating that he needs help resolving the demon invasion on Mars. The refusal of the call usually comes shortly after the call to adventure. By refusing the call to adventure, the hero indicates that he or she is standing at a threshold of fear and danger. The Doomslayer refuses the call to adventure by smashing the monitor in the middle of Hayden's message. The meeting of the mentor is a time when the hero meets a guide or advisor that will provide them with the information, skills, and tools required to start the journey. The Doomslayer formally meets Hayden, the mentor, at a computer terminal. Here, Hayden provides the Doomslayer with Vega, an artificial intelligence that helps him upgrade his weapons and suit throughout the adventure. Later, Hayden provides the Tether, which is originally meant as a tool to prevent the Doomslayer from being trapped in the Hell Realm. Furthermore, Hayden provides staples such as ammunition and armor. Additionally, Hayden fulfills the role of the mentor by providing information to the Doomslayer about the next objectives. The crossing of the first threshold is when the hero commits wholeheartedly to the adventure. Oftentimes, something happens at this point in the story that changes the intensity and raises the stakes. Additionally, there are threshold guardians that may pop up to try and test or block the hero from continuing onward. Sometimes this first threshold guardian simply needs to be acknowledged. Oftentimes, crossing the first threshold, the hero passes into a new world or realm. Lastly, the hero is required to take a leap of faith. He or she must trust when stepping forward that they will land safely. The Doomslayer crosses the first threshold by passing into hell for the first time while pursuing Olivia Pierce. This is a leap of faith because the Doomslayer has no certain way of returning to the Martian planet to complete the objective of his adventure, closing the portals to contain hell. In tests, allies, and enemies, the hero has to learn how to navigate the special world. The Doomslayer experiences a number of tests throughout the campaign. For example, the mentor instructs him to carefully power down the Argent processors. However, the Doomslayer disregards this request and destroys the equipment to disable the utilization of Hell energy at any point in the future. The Doomslayer also fails tests on his adventure. For example, when Samuel Hayden installs a tether in the suit, there's no resistance or protest. While it is meant to be seen as help for the adventure ahead, it ends up being the Doomslayer's undoing at the end of the adventure. Vega is a sidekick. He provides the Doomslayer with information and guidance for smaller mission objectives, as well as improved equipment and abilities to better tackle those objectives. Additionally, Vega sacrifices himself so that the Doomslayer can re-enter Hell and complete his adventure. The Night Sentinels serve as a cautionary tale to the Doomslayer about what might happen if he fails. Olivia appears as identified as the enemy of the Doomslayer very early on by Samuel Hayden. Olivia Pierce was responsible for opening the gates of Hell on Mars, and she has allied herself with the sworn enemies of the Doomslayer. The approach to the Inmost Cave is when the hero makes final preparations for the last part of the journey. This is when the hero makes plans, does surveillance, and fortifies himself. The Doomslayer investigates Pierce's office and identifies the need for the Crucible in order to destroy the well in Hell. This destruction would prevent future attempts at harnessing Hell energy. In order to approach the Inmost Cave, oftentimes the hero must defeat additional Threshold Guardians. For the Doomslayer, that means the giant Cyber Demon, which gives us the Argent energy to return to Hell. And then once in Hell, we must defeat the Hell Guards to retrieve the Crucible. As the Doomslayer completes his approach to the Inmost Cave, he is armed with two new weapons, the BFG and the Crucible. The Ordeal is the central event of the adventure. For the Doomslayer, the Ordeal is the destruction of the three wells. The reward is a moment when the hero collects his treasure as a result of the adventure. Christopher Vogler refers to this as the seizing of the sword. For the Doomslayer, this event occurs out of sequence, but with the hero's journey, not all these events have to occur in order. For the Doomslayer, this is a literal interpretation of the seizing of the sword, as he collects the Crucible and intends on leaving Hell with this weapon in hand. The road back is a time following the ordeal when the hero must leave the special world behind and return to where he came. The Doomslayer must exit Hell now that the wells have been closed and the energy source has been destroyed. The resurrection is often when the hero faces the largest danger. It may not only threaten the hero, but also the world at large. This is when the stakes are the highest. The Doomslayer faces Megamind, which proves to be the most challenging boss battle in the adventure. Before Olivia Pierce is transfigured into the Megamind, she reveals that she was just a pawn in a larger game. That means the greater enemies here have not even stepped onto the stage. This is the truest danger to the Doomslayer. The return with the elixir should provide resolution to the hero's journey, as well as the beginnings of a new journey. Oftentimes, the resolutions can seem flat, so surprises occur in the return. For the Doomslayer, the return with the elixir occurs when Samuel Hayden uses the tether to pull the Doomslayer back to Mars. The surprise here is that Samuel Hayden, our mentor, turns out to be the true villain. He seizes the Crucible, shares his plans to further exploit Hell energy, and lastly, Samuel Hayden banishes the Doomslayer to an unknown location using the tether. And that's been the Myth of Doom.